Alright, I think I just decided to revisit this game and kind of do a remake of my very first video, which is All Races on Hydro Thunder Hurricane, and I thought I'd just redo that with marginally higher production value, and this time I'd provide my own tips and just talking about what I'm thinking, so figured I'd get into it. First race, I think overall I'd choose Red Hazard just because of better air control since there's a lot of drops and very slim turns. So start off with the extra boost, which is different on Xbox than it is on PC. Go for that draft, follow the main group, but still go for the bottle. Now this is the hard part. I want to make a jump here, but Rad Hazard's wide, so sometimes you can clip yourself on that. So that's a problem. I didn't make that turn. Go for that jump there. Don't worry about that bridge, because those arches actually don't hit you, so you can just go through that and it won't blow you up. Go for this other side for the red. Good fall. Typically I try to jump as soon as I hit the ground after a fall, just because it gives you that extra jump, and when you're in air you are not slowing down, so it's just a good way to stay efficient. These police boats are pretty annoying, but usually if you can get in front of them they don't ram you, but yeah, I just did that there, so just be aware of that. Here's another thing, again, jumping you hit the ground. That also just reduces turbulence and how it affects your steering, so keeps you centered. Go the cross diagonally to get both these bottles. And do your absolute best to not hit the walls here, because it really ruins you. And for this 4X, you usually try to go for it, but if you can't make it, it's alright. But since I made it, I'm going to boost basically this whole way. Now these explosions here create really big waves, so make sure you're not going too fast, because if you go too fast over those, sometimes it just launches you into the roof and you blow up. Jump over here to maintain airspeed. And that's the first race. Now this next race is kind of my favorite. I don't know why, I think it's just nice color palette and also just a lot of opportunity for doing well. I still use Red Hazard for this one purely because of air control, so it goes pretty well. Right from the start, go for that draft. Overtake them by jumping, and that's just a general tip. If you're ever going to overtake another boat, jump over them, because going to the side of them or pushing them away is going to slow you down. And also being in the air makes you not slow down rather than being in the water, so just a general tip. And honestly, just re-jumping as much as possible once you reach your top speed, because the only way you can maintain your top speed is by boosting, and if you're in the air you don't slow down, and if you're not slowing down then you don't need to use your boost, which is a lot more efficient. Ramming that guy was not the best choice. Jump over here for the shortcut. Boost to redirect yourself so you don't hit the water at an awkward angle. Jump up. Now it's easy to go too fast, so go backwards and then boost a little bit to slow yourself down, and then land back straight. Go for this ramp, and then go straight to the other shortcut. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing from the large jump. We're going to jump, face the other way, slow down so I don't hit the wall. And I didn't do it well enough that time, but if you do it just right you can do that and save yourself a lot of time. Boost all the way up here, because going up does slow you down quite a bit. Jump at the end here. Catching a wave can be risky because you can hit that roof over there, so I usually don't do that, but I was far enough back anyways, gonna make it. Boost down here, jump. Go for the bottle, jump again to the other shortcut. Skate on here. And then boost the whole time for this. And then that one's done. Now this race I do the least, so I don't have any boat recommendations. So you can just choose whatever you want, but since I'm feeling strange, I'm going to use this. Go for that draft first, and then jump up there. Now here's another trick, is you jump and you want to land on top of the ramp. That makes you land on top of it, and when you do that, you go higher. And when you go higher, you're in the air more, and then you don't have to waste as much boost. Jump at the bottom of this here. Don't jump at the top because you will hit the roof. Now this is not a shortcut in any way, if anything it makes you slower, but it's just for fun. You can just scoot down here, and you can cut down before the water lowers, so you can just practice here if you want. It's just funny, there's no actual point to that. Jump down here, go through both of these booths. Do not jump there, jump here. If you jump earlier, you will hit that tree and blow up. Go around this side for the switch.
The ramp is up.
Go for the ramp, get the boost. Go underneath this. I was too fast for that, but usually I go underneath. And then same thing, jump on top of this, bounce off the ramp, drop this guy. Go for that, jump at the bottom here once you get a wave. Same thing again over here. I really don't like lap races, they just seem too repetitive. There's not much more to add. Go the same way again, this time the right time instead of the wrong time. And then you basically follow the exact same path as the last lap. Go down there, jump there. And then still go around this long way, just because of the extra boost you get from this ramp. I think it makes up for cutting the corner on the other one. And if you don't think you're going to go under it, you can just go to the side. Jump, hit ramp, bounce off of it. Jump at the bottom here. And I know there is a shortcut to the right of me, but honestly that doesn't seem to make me go any faster, so I don't do it. Jump up here. Now go to the left. I feel if you go to the right, you lose control a lot more faster to this water. And then try going for the red boost. If you don't, just go around it. You don't need to go for this red one, but I just did it because I saw it. Jump again. Now this time you do cut the corner. And try jumping onto that ramp. Sometimes I don't. And then that's that race. Alright, now Thunderbolt is probably the best race for opportunity to get really good records, because I've seen so much variance and how well you can do, but I prefer Red Hazard, just because of air control once again. And since there's no sharp turns in this map, that's the other reason I use Red Hazard, but when there's a lot of sharp turns, I do recommend it, not using Red Hazard. Go for the switch, go for this turn. Now don't jump off of here so you can get both of these boosts, because when you're on that first lap you don't have enough boost. And then boost around that whole zigzag part, because those turns slow you down a lot. Once you hit that switch you should jump. Basically the whole point of the first lap is just to get all the switches done so you can do the next 2 laps as fast as possible. Alright, now go for the other switch here, which just moves the ramp to the other side. That just makes this lap and the next one faster, because it slows you down to switch sides and make that really sharp turn to stay on that left side. Boosted this whole part again. And then now catch the earliest wave you can to get onto this other side, just to save yourself a little bit of length. Jump up to get that, go down here. And the trick I do here is jump on top of the ramp, which pushes you even higher, which gets even faster. Repeat the same thing from the last lap, stay on this side. You can jump to hit that, but sometimes I go too high. Yeah, I barely made it there. And then now you can jump here. I should have done that last lap, but I forgot. Boost this whole way again. Exactly the same as last run. Now there is a thing to note, that if you do land exactly on top of that sign, it does sometimes bounce you off instead of breaking it, so you have to be ready to go nose down into the water, but that was about all the risks you have to worry about. Alright, for this one, I recommend Tidal Blade. I'm not going to really explain why, because I don't really understand it either, but I just think it works the best.
3, 2, 1, go!
Immediately go for the draft, use him, get to the other boost bottle, jump as soon as you hit it, jump again, go for the next draft and bottle, jump, go for the switch, go for the gate. A lot of camera shake. Go for the draft again. Jump. Go for the middle shortcut. Do not jump from here or the next one, because you will miss the other side shortcut here. Jump at the end of this. Jump at the end of that. Go for the draft. You can jump onto this ramp if you want, but I think it's risky, so I usually don't. Boost all the way up here and sector the very tip so you don't go flying off. Do this little parkour hit. Boost all the way through this. Jump at the end. Redirect yourself with a boost. Usually go for that ramp, but I missed. Jump on the first wave, don't jump on any other ones, you will hit the roof. You can try going for the red one, but if there's the blue one, just go around. It's just not worth it if in case you hit a metal ball. Boost this whole thing, but not too much, because if you go too fast, you will also hit the ceiling. Jump at the end. Okay, now this is one of the ones that is a lap race that I do enjoy, but same thing again, minimal sharp turns, a few air things, so rad hazard again. Go for the draft immediately, jump over him to overtake him, and just do that for this whole beginning part here. I would always go for these side parts here just because of the 4x boost you get, even if it's not straight. And same for these other things, always go for the 4x even though it's out of your way, because you can boost longer, which raises your top speed. Go for the middle here, but with Rad Hazard you have to worry about clipping those pillars, because you're so wide, so just make sure that you're always centered there, because it's really annoying to clip yourself. Don't jump onto this ramp, because you'll just hit the top of the bridge and immediately go into the water. Draft this whole thing. And then just go to that side because it was closer. Boost that whole point there. Whenever there's long turns, just boost. That's a turn, boost, that's a turn, boost. At the end of this tunnel, I didn't do it last lap, but you should try jumping onto the ramp because it does save you a lot of airspeed. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Now I'm in first place, so there's no one to draft, so now I have to be more efficient with my boost. So I have to jump a lot more often. Basically, for long stretches, I recommend jumping only once you reach your top speed, and not before it, because it's a lot harder to accelerate in the air than it is on the water, so use water to get you fast, and then once you're fast, jump. But you have to plan ahead and make sure you're not jumping too late and you're gonna not make a turn in time, because that's just gonna be worse. Alright, now this is the only race that I use this boat. And that's just because this has a lot of sharp turns and this boat has the best handling. The top speed on this for an expert level boat is terrible, but I think it just makes up for it. So go for the draft, go for the bottle like almost every map. Go for that bottle, go for this shortcut, like it. Don't jump on this ramp. You know, you can either go left or right. I haven't really made a preference, but you can choose whatever one you want. I usually go left, but I'm going right just for this one. Don't jump off of there so you can hit both of these bottles. Now hug your left so you can get that other shortcut, and I missed it, but doesn't really matter. It's very iffy because these water jets kind of change how high they raise you, so I don't really like that shortcut, but it's okay. Now, a shortcut I do love is jumping over here. Except for that bit, which is strange. Now, you don't have to worry about clipping through the trees when you do that, but you do have to worry about parts of the bridge. You can either jump here or go for the bottle. Sometimes you can do both like that. And then go for the shortcut if you can. And boost here, jump early, because that water ends a lot earlier than the actual ramp below you does.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was awesome.
Now this is one of my older favorite races, and because Red Hazard's my favorite, I usually like using Red Hazard, but I'm not sure if it's actually the best, but it works okay for me. Same as always, go for the draft, go for the bottle, hit the second wave and jump if you can. Now go straight into this metal grate here, because if you don't, sometimes bumping it sideways just doesn't break it and you bounce off. Boost this whole way. Now don't take the shortcut to the right, instead just jump past it. But go through this shortcut instead. And that one is a lot harder to make, but usually you can get the hang of it. It's just been a few years for me. Jump over here to cross the other side instead of going the long way. So that way you can still get that 4x. Now here you can either slide off or jump off. I usually jump off, but if you jump off, don't go straight forward because you will bump that UFO and you will blow up. But if you want to slide off, you usually do get that 4x boost, so if you're running low, you can go that way. Now boost this whole way through this, so that way the ramp appears underneath you, which launches you a lot farther and faster.
This is insane.
Take the shortcut to the side. Don't jump anywhere here except for the end, because it just bumps you around a lot. Don't jump in this ramp either. And always be prepared to miss the bottles there. Like, I never get those, so just plan ahead and make sure that you have enough. And then just boost the rest of this way, and you'll be fine. Alright, now this is the one that I played the least, but I do have a boat recommendation, which is this one, but maybe I'll find something else. Once again, you go for the draft and you go for the bottle very first, and you follow them all. That one I didn't jump over because I would jump into the wall, but overall I'd still recommend jumping over people to go over in front of them. This first lap always just feels so slow when none of the shortcuts are opened up. Don't go for the very sharp turn here, it's just not worth it. You're better off just drafting and going for the 2x instead of making that sharp turn and going for the 4x, because it just doesn't always end well. Jump to overtake that guy. Go through this shortcut that was just made. You can jump here if you want, but it doesn't help that much. Now be careful with this one, because if you go too fast or if you jump too late, you can actually overtake that hole in the ground and you'll just smash into the wall in front of you. So either jump earlier or don't boost as much before it, or you could just do a mixture of both. And similar thing here, don't boost the whole time you're in the air, because sometimes you jump over this platform and you go too low and you hit that wall. Now this is the most conflicting part. When that rock comes up, you can either go around from the left side or the right side, and sometimes you just have to skip this whole shortcut because the waves just push you away. So that's where I usually have most of my accidents in this map, so just be prepared to either go left or right or around that shortcut. And don't go too fast here. And don't jump at that high point there either, because you will also bump into this wall. Boost this whole way, just because you have enough of it. Boost for this whole upward part too. Don't boost that much. I didn't press the button in time and it didn't register, so I have to reset there. Alright, now this is probably my other all-time favorite race, and while I do like Rad Hazard a lot, this boat just seems to work the best for the turns.
2, 1, go! We're good to go with boost.
Go for the draft, go for the bottle, take the shortcut, and for the first lap, I honestly just don't avoid that little 1 bit there, just break it anyways. Now with Rad Hazard, you can hit both the switch and the boost thing at the same time, and you can do it with this boat too, but it's a lot harder. But if you're using Rad Hazard or another wide boat, I would recommend going for that cannon switch and that 4X at the same time. But if you have to choose one, always go for the ramp. Boost this whole way around that loop, and boost all the way down, but keep in mind those explosive barrels. Keep boosting this whole way. Catch up with this guy, overtaken by jumping. Jump over that barrel. Draft, overtaken by jumping. Alright, now that those barrels are in the water, usually I jump as soon as I hit the ground again and I go right over them like that. And with boats that have better air control, you can recover from that turn better. So that's like another use for Rad Hazard, but I still don't think it's worth the sacrifice. Same shortcuts. Boost all the way up here and all the way down there, jump over those barrels. Now this is the part where there's a lot of head-on stuff, so be ready to jump to avoid. And you're not going to be able to draft anyone, so once you reach top speed, jump to save yourself some boost. And there's usually no barrels, because they've all been blown up by the bots at those turns, so you don't have to worry about them. Same thing here, as soon as I hit the water, I jump again. I'm gonna go try and see if I can hit both at once. Yeah, so that's what you can try to do if you want to clear up the space from where you're landing. But that's the other downside that has just happened right there, where the turbulence just makes you unable to make that jump even if you press the button. So it's a very risky thing, but if you're doing multiplayer, it can save you a lot. You don't have to be as wary as head-on collisions for the third lap, but still something to look out for. And then jump to finish it off. Alright, now this is the hardest race purely just because of that oil rig. And I'm not exactly sure which boat to use. Sometimes I use Rad Hazard, sometimes I use Vector X. I think either one doesn't really matter. But choice and shortcuts matters a lot in this map. Go for the draft, go for the ramp. Now go for the left shortcut, but don't go for the right one. It just doesn't save you enough. And don't go through the hoop even though it's tempting. Going the shorter way just saves you more time. And try to jump on these waves as much as possible so you're not using all your boost. Go for this shortcut, but don't go too fast because sometimes you just fly into the mountainside. Jump early on this one because same situation in the other map where the jump ends early. I usually go right side, but I've been experimenting with which line me up's better with the oil rig. Yeah, this isn't a good one. I'm just gonna reset there because I just don't think I'm just gonna end well. Also, try not to enter this wormhole too fast, because if you do, you usually end up nose down, and when you land in the water, it's pretty bad. So take both of these left shortcuts, it's just faster. And you don't have to land on this middle island, but you can if you want to redirect yourself a little bit better. And then just boost the whole way down this windy path here. And then jump for the shortcut. And then get as fast as possible here. Jump with the waves to maximize your airtime. It's okay that I missed that, the race is about to end. So yeah, that's about it. My tips and tricks on Hydro Thunder Hurricane. Once again, just revisiting all this stuff and maybe hoping that some attention will come to this video and maybe bring this game back. But maybe I'll bring out my Xbox and do multiplayer again. That'd be funny.